Hey, this is Your Pet's Life with the great Joey Villani and Lauriston Crockett with the Gift for Life. And guys, we are back together. It's been a long time, but I'm so happy that our show is back on podcasting just for you. So, Joey, there's been so many things that have happened in the last year with your life. You got to catch us up because you're not up north anymore. You're down in my state of Florida.
And I love your state of Florida. It was the best move I ever made in my life. Do you notice my shirt's fitting for the dog father? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not yelling, I'm Italian, right?
But to be honest with you, I left New Jersey during COVID. Decided to make just some major changes. Wanted to get down to Florida for a number of reasons. Since we've been here, we opened up a grooming salon, and I'm going to make this quick because this could be a long story.
Okay.
That was just supposed to be a lab for filming because we started an online grooming school.
Peticures.
So we needed a studio, more or less. We said, you know what? We did some videos in a studio, and it was rather expensive. So we said, let's build our own studio. And, we could bring dogs in from the outside and use those dogs. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks in, we started getting busier and busier. And
Sure.
It's almost a year now, September 28th. And I'm 5 weeks booked out, and I have people booked out to the end of the year. So we went from not wanting to have a grooming salon to open a full-fledged grooming salon. But what it did for me was it made me better, because I've been doing this so long that I forgot what it was like, the starting process of what before the doors open until getting the dogs in. And it made it so much better for me because this became an experiment. That's what we call, the name of the company is Peticures, the Peticures experiment. So it just made us a lot better. And now we're part of the community. I'm a Cocoa Beach, Florida, Italian guy, and we've embraced, the community's embraced us, is what I should say.
Have you started surfing? Because I used to surf in Cocoa Beach and New Smyrna.
You know what? I haven't. And I didn't realize what a big surfing community this actually is.
Dude, head down to Ron John's. It is the surfing capital of the East Coast. Get you on a longboard and get out there. I'll meet you out there off the coast.
You know what's funny? The guy behind me, you see, his name is Rocco. Rocco's our mascot. And when they had the surf competitions down here not too long ago, so what we do with him is he could be everything that we're not. So we had him on a surfboard, and we made shirts, and so Rocco's a surfer as well.
That's fantastic. Hey, listen, I got a question for you. So there's been so much that's happening. You know that we always talk to Dr. Danny Cox, the famous pet vet, and he's been having so many more problems finding veterinarians that can actually cover shifts and everything like that. Are you still having issues getting people to work, and are you starting to train people? Because it's not every day that you have the #1 groomer in America move into a city, and I'm sure they're pretty stoked to have you there.
Well, I'm lucky because we've had people that have wanted to come and work with us, but in the grand scheme of things, groomers are very difficult to come by, and that's why they're so booked out. So to give you a good example, on the government websites, there's approximately 260,000 groomers.
Wow.
And the amount of registered and unregistered pets in the US is almost 700 million between the two of them, because you have the licensed pets, which we know the numbers for, and then they said they have at least the same amount or more unlicensed.
Oh, sure.
And if you can cut a dog's nails or a cat's nails, they're groomable. So let's just say in a nutshell, we have 500 million groomable pets in the United States, 260,000 groomers.
Right.
There's more work out there than you could ever do. So yes, it's a problem, and we can't. The other part of the problem is it's an industry that's not licensed. So you're getting grooming salons that are opening up that people don't really have any experience, or don't have any background, or don't have the proper training. And that's where it's important for someone like you or any of the listeners to make sure when you go out, talk to your groomer. Now, I'm not saying all groomers had to go to pet grooming school, because you don't. Because you know what? When I first did it, I did. Because it was back in the 70s. We didn't have them. We were one of the first 4 worldwide that started the school. But just make sure that they're structured. ask questions. Where's my cat going to be housed? How is the grooming process going to happen? How long is my pet going to be here? Can I see the operation? If they can't answer any of those questions or say no to you can't see the operation, run. There's nothing to hide. It's this, you know what? We're not building rocket ships. We're grooming dogs. They should be happy people. They should love your pet. And you know what? At the end of it, your pet should come out somewhat happy. Not all pets are happy to come here, but they should, you know what? When they see mommy and daddy coming out of the salon, the tail should be wagging. If the tail is still between the legs or something don't seem right, don't go back.
Right. You know, here in Texas, we actually have some mobile units that go to people's homes also. And with Big Max, I actually take him up to the veterinarian clinic. They actually have a grooming salon inside there too. Of course, the only thing they do is every time I walk in there, hey, it's time for his Bordello shot again. It's like, oh my God, is it 6 months already? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. But thank God they do have you. So Joey, real quickly, what is the number one issue with dogs coming in to be groomed that you're actually seeing?
Well, there's a couple, but the one that I'll bring up the most right now is through COVID, the socialization of dogs. Because a lot of people went out and they got pets because they needed the companionship. So they went to the shelters, and that was a good thing because the shelters got empty. But those pets came home, and the only ones that they dealt with were the pet owner. So they didn't get out to socialize. So now they come here. And you know what? When you have other dogs in the salon and there's barking and there's activity going on, you have to really be more careful now than ever bringing pets in and that soft socialization of just the environment, because we don't let the dogs, unless it's our dog who's the greeter, we don't let them get near each other. But just here's what you don't want to happen is these dogs come in, and even if they go to a grooming van and all of a sudden they get spooked, they pull out their collar, boom, and they're gone, and they get by a car or something bad happens. So it's that's the biggest problem that we're seeing is the re-socialization and, you know, just introducing back to the world where it should be.
Right. You know what? Maybe we should do a video about that in the future of how to actually do this, how to socialize your pet, how to get them prepared. You know, we do a lot of shows when it becomes time for Halloween or 4th of July and things like that. So we want to make sure that our pets are kept safe. So you're having the same issue. You're dealing with it every day now.
It's every day. And it's funny because as soon as you think that it's getting better and you're not seeing it, you have a new client that comes in.
Right.
And it's the same situation all over again. But you know what the important thing is we have to educate them. Right. We have to educate them because the pet owner doesn't understand, because you know what? The dog's in the house and that's how they relate. They don't relate that, okay, Fluffy hasn't gone for a walk. Fluffy hasn't gone to the park until they get there. And then they say, oh God, I have a problem here. And that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing in the world, especially with a larger breed, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and there's so many classes that you can actually take your pet to for, you know, a group dog training and everything. The best investment I ever made in my life, of course, was taking Max to professional training. He's a therapy dog, and I can take him in the restaurants. I can take him into the gym where everybody loves it when I'm putting him, you know, from a machine to machine. And Max is a sit, hold, and watching me do my reps. I've got my cheerleading squad in there. So, you know, what I would tell everybody, listen, guys, there's so many groups out there that you can actually join and go to. Some of them are free. Some of them are just minimal amounts. Joey, I'm sure you'll back me on this. Join a group, start working with your dog, start doing some training with some professionals, and it'll be the best investment you ever made in your life. And Joey, talking about trained animals, I was telling everyone about you and I are getting back together. I was so excited. I was on Instagram and on our Facebook and everything like that. But you just had, you went over and started working with the Cocoa Beach Canine unit. Can you tell me what happened? Because you said the dog went berserk about something about Canine Prime, and I don't
go nowhere. Stay, everyone stay. Hold on.
Okay. Everyone, Joey is going to get something for us.
This is the last bottle on my shelf. Okay?
Oh,
it's part of the story. So what we did was we did an event that we've seen.
Canine Prime right there in the salon.
Yeah, it's on the shelf, baby. It's on the shelf. So we did an event called coffee with a canine cup.
Okay.
And I didn't realize the how could I say, the turnout that we were going to have, because Cocoa Beach Police Force really put it out there that they were going to be here, and it was a great event. We had close to 50 people that showed up.
Right.
Didn't expect to have any, and they had all the canine dogs, and the chief was here, and the
Everybody
sergeant.
loves their canine units. I absolutely love that.
It was great. But what my wife did, because she's a little bit of a nut, she said, I need to have treats. So what she did was she got organic bones and made organic bone broth with carrots and all the vegetables that are really good for dogs. And she was going to freeze them and make popsicle treats. Only problem is we couldn't find popsicle mold. So, okay, no problem. I said, you know what? You got to put the prime in there. Let's add the prime into the sauce.
Right.
And our dog was already eating it, but I mean, it was like any other treat. Take it, maybe eat it, maybe not. So we added the prime to it. Okay. Froze it, and we made these little.
So they were the other treats that she was making. Maybe eat it, maybe not. But then you added prime, and that changed things.
Change listen. My dog, I can't open this. She goes berserk. She don't eat her food anymore. So you hurt me a little bit, because she don't eat her food anymore until we add the prime. So
right.
The prime. She'll sit there and look up. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. So anyway, she froze the mixture, and we broke it up into like ice cube sizes, and it would go into a machine, and it would make a slushy.
Oh, cool.
So we had them in this little. Do you remember when you were a kid? You had those little squeezy cups that you would eat Italian ice out of. So we put them in there. We couldn't give it to the dog quick enough. The one canine dog took the cup, everything. We couldn't get the cup away, and she's going, I'm not taking away from me. Even the cop goes, neither am I. He ate the cup. He ate the treat. So we had treats left over, and we were giving them to our dogs. We have a freezer here. Some of the dogs, and I'm not exaggerating. The people that we gave them to came back an hour later and said, my dog loved it. And we would say, well, he probably loved it because of the canine prime.
Right.
And I got a small order here because I wanted to put it on the shelf. And they came back and they bought the prime. And I made a deal with them. I said, if you don't like it, we will give you 100% of your money back, because I knew I would use it. But I knew they'd never come back. None of them ever came back. So this is the last one on the shelf right now.
Yeah, and the problem is that their dogs are going to continue wanting it. So, when I formulated that, we've been doing this for 20 years with the Gift for Life, which has beef liver powder in it also, with rice and, of course, peptides in a chewable treat. But we wanted to start working with the pit bulls and the cane corsos and the competition dogs and the bird dogs out there that need recovery, need to be able to stay in the field and hit that water and keep moving and going. So I had to go back to my old school. I was just sitting there seriously one night and went, what am I doing? The most highly dense nutrient product in the world that God made was beef liver. Wolves, that is the first thing they go for, is the beef liver, or liver of an animal. And warriors and bodybuilders have been taking beef liver. And it's not just beef liver. It is the highest tier human grade grass-fed beef liver powder that you can get. It's just dehydrated beef liver powder. So it has all the major nutrients that a dog or a man needs to thrive. There's nothing else that you need. It's all found right in there.
Well, I tried it.
Yeah,
I tried it myself.
Yeah.
Number one, it tastes good. Well, if you like liver, which I do, it tastes good. And then after hearing you talk about it, I said, because I got to get back in the gym. That's that's a bad thing.
Yeah, you actually get a little rush from it, because all those nutrients just immediately absorb into the blood, and then you get a rise in your red blood cell count. So you get this boost of energy, along with 60 milligrams of the peptide per serving. So you're getting 1,560 milligrams. And so what I'm saying is, you give one in the morning, one at night, or since there's all these dog foods out there that don't have proper protein, don't have real nutrients, they have all the synthetic stuff from China. Now you're able to fortify and turn that dog food into a superfood, or give it to them as a bodybuilding treat or an energy treat. And you can give it to dogs of all stages of life. and that actual instinct, that DNA instinct of a wolf, because every dog has a DNA of a wolf, they don't understand this, comes out, and they just want to attack it and devour it, and they just love it. Big Max, oh my God, he's the same way. He's looking at me going, dude, the Gift for Life is great, but he wants that Canine Prime on his product. So again, we believe that we've changed the dog, supplement world, because there's nothing out there that's 100% human grade, the highest quality ever, along with the peptides that are in there and naturally occurring growth factors.
Well, I want to take it just one step further, and take it down another alleyway. Is in this community, which Florida. So in Cocoa Beach, Florida, I have a lot of elderly here, and they're, Fluffy is the most important thing in their life.
That's their family.
So to be able to get longevity out of Fluffy and have Fluffy feel better and give Fluffy that energy, that Fluffy, I'm back, I'm strutting their stuff. The other thing is older dogs get finicky as they get older and they stop eating their food. So what this does also, it increases the appetite because they want to now go back and they want to enjoy because the food smells great. They're getting all those nutrients, like you said.
Right.
And listen, no one has to tell you when you feel good. And it doesn't matter if you're a person, if you're a dog, if you're a monkey, if you're a lion, whatever you are. You feel good and you act it. So if your pets are feeling good, they know it's coming from their food. They know what it's from. It's the fountain of youth for pets, and that's the best way I can explain it. It's listen, all your products, and I don't say this because we're talking face to face, because I wouldn't even be on a podcast with you if it wasn't for your products. Because I shouldn't say that because I love you. You're a great guy. But talking about your products, I'm going to say something that I've said a million times. You have saved my pet's life. The day that I spoke to you and said, I have a dog that cannot go down the stairs anymore at 10. And that dog lived until they were almost 17. I'm sorry. I thought I shut my phone off.
Okay. But I remember that day that we spoke also, because you just got off Pet Radio, right?
I was still on them, but we just had recorded the show.
You just got off the air. And you questioned me. You questioned me with that New Jersey attitude. All right, dude. I'll never forget that, because that was so great. I go, Joey, it's okay. We'll talk in 3 or 4 days. And we did. And we've been friends, and we've been working with pets, you and I, ever since.
Well, I remember the conversation. I think this is an important thing to bring up was I told you, how long is it going to take me to see results? Because most pet supplements that you try,
right,
you either see results in a long term or you don't see results at all. So what I wanted to know was, am I going to see it? You said you're going to see a difference in 3 days. And I remember saying, this guy is nuts. I'm not going to see a difference in 3 days. And I said to you, don't tell me it's going to be 3 days if it's going to be 3 months, because I'll give you 3 months if you tell me 3 months.
I remember now, yes.
If it's 3 days, I'm going to give it 3 days, because that's how I work. And by the third day, it was like clockwork. Miles was jumping from the third step down, never mind going up and down the stairs. He was rejuvenated. And we've told so many people about the product, and never one person, and God is my witness, not one person ever came back and said it did not do the same thing for their pets as it did for ours. It was just incredible.
Well, again, it goes back to the peptide technology. Every cell in your body, every cell in your pet's body has a peptide. And then the naturally occurring growth factors, that's the key. Growth factors actually signal the cellular receptor sites what to do. So we're able to get the dog to start producing hormones again, even after they've been spayed and neutered. So again, I was just, I'm excited that everybody's liking it and enjoying it. We're getting fantastic results. We're reaching out to so many hunting dogs, and if other dogs are out there, whether you're Bully brand or whatever, even Fluffy, this is all for you. We made this for you, and we believe it'll change lives for sure. So Joey, listen real quickly, and thanks for telling us the story about the Cocoa Beach canine unit, and tell them, hey, if we want, we can send them a bottle of it, but just remember, once you put the scoop there, the scooper's there to dump and get away, because those dogs are going to go for that. and they absolutely love it. But tell me real quickly before we leave, and then we're going to see you again next week for sure. I'm so happy that
Absolutely.
you are back together and doing these shows to give everybody all this fantastic information that you have and all the experience that you have. But where are you off to next? Because you're always on the road as the #1 groomer in America.
Well, it's funny you should say that because we go on the road this week. In Hershey, Pennsylvania, there's an event called Grooming Exposed, the largest grooming event in the world. It's going to be competition. It's going to be education. It's going to be awards, and it's a big social event. I'm honored to be one of the judges and the speakers every year at it. And it's just a great event. We leave for Hershey on Wednesday, and then we come back on Monday. And it's very exciting. And like I said, groomers from all over the world come over to compete. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, do me a favor while you're there with our Gift for Life family. Excuse me, little eye-itch here. With our Gift for Life family, take your phone and give us a shout out while you're there and show us everything that's going on. We'd love to post it. I know the Gift for Life family would love to know where you are, what you're doing, and see when actually be there with you if you could do that for us.
Well, you know what? I'd love to do some of the creative dogs. I just don't know how everyone feels about them. But before I say that, the creative dogs love it. There's no abuse that goes into it. They love it. The colors are safe for the pets. And
Sure.
If you want to see a pet that feels and acts like a rock star, when you see a colored poodle on the stage, it's great. And they also have something which we take rescue dogs that, you know, they're still in the shelters and all.
Sure.
And we do before and afters on them. And that's the other thing. You want to see a dog get its day in the limelight, take one of those rescue dogs that get no attention, that have now 10,000 people surrounding them, taking pictures, and they know it. It's great.
And hopefully they go home with their new forever home.
In a lot of cases they do, but you know what? The rescues that they use do a lot of screening, which is important because
Right.
You know what? You want them to go home and stay home and not have to come back for whatever reason. So they do a lot of screening, but a lot of them get adopted.
That is fantastic. Joey, my friend, God, I can keep talking to you forever, but we are out of time. Listen, man, you are the best. I absolutely love you dearly. Thanks for coming back on with us. I look forward to the stuff we got going on. Please tell us about your trip and just out walking around. Show us the event. You know, we're always so interested where you are and what you're doing, Mr. Jet Setter here.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me on. And like I said, Lauriston, you've helped my pets out. You've helped me out. You've been a great friend. So thank you.
Well, do me a favor when you're if you ever head down to Fort Lauderdale, go into a hoagie shop down there called Las Spadas. We all live there. They get the greatest hoagies in the whole world. So we'll end up talking about an Italian hoagie down in Fort Lauderdale called Las Spadas. So I'll give you that tip for sure. When I come out there to Florida to see you, we'll definitely go down and have one together.
That sounds good to me.
Hey guys, this is Lauriston Crockett with the great Joey Villani with Your Pet's Life. We'll see you again soon. We love you guys.
Bye now.